Hey, how you doing, guys? We just got back from a trip to Double Island, and it was our plan for a bit of self-isolation or social distancing, as we're supposed to be doing at the moment, and I think everybody had the same idea because it was very busy. The lineup was whoo. On the way back, I thought maybe it'd be a good idea to let everybody know the pros and cons after owning this Nissan Pathfinder for about a year or so, a bit more than a year. It might be interesting to get my perspective on what I thought about this car in 12 months or so. It's not really whether you should or shouldn't buy a Pathfinder, it's just my experience. Everybody has had different experiences with these. And as most of you might know that have seen my channel before, you'll know we drove this car from Brisbane to Perth and had plenty of issues that nobody could fix at the time, and it ended up having to be put on a truck to get home. Now I know what was actually wrong. It really didn't need to happen like that, but that's how it went down for me. Now, right away, I bought this car very cheap, like basically for nothing, because it was a fixer-upper. It had a lot of work to get it back on the road. It was unregistered. The previous owner 100% admitted this vehicle had been used for serious off-road use and has not been babied. Just by looking at the paintwork and the interior condition, you can kind of tell he wasn't making that up. It's in terrible condition, the whole car, which is perfect. It's what I wanted. I just wanted something that would go on the beach, come back, you don't have to wash it straight away, you don't have to freak out. So right off the bat, the first things that before I could even get it back on the road, it needed brand new clutch. So it's got a heavy duty clutch in it, all new brakes, discs, rotors. It needed new diff bushers in the rear diff. All the suspension, obviously I was changing that anyway, but it was all totally cooked, like needed new everything. So it's got new upper control arms, new struts, springs, shock, the works. So it actually drives quite well because of that. Needed new tyres. That's pretty standard, isn't it? Sway bars were broken. I know a lot of people take them off anyway, but I ended up leaving them on. Like basically everything cosmetic was broken. Like window wipers didn't squirt. There was no stereo at all. Had to put all new speakers through. Needed all new wheel bearings, which I decided was important anyway because it's putting such large wheels on, so they're commonly wearing out anyway if you have bigger tyres. There's probably more that I'm forgetting, to be honest, but that was just to get it on the road and get it going. And yeah, got to test it out a little bit. As a stock vehicle, it still does pretty good. Like, because of the independent suspension a Pathfinder has, it won't flex as much as a Nissan Navara or anything with a solid diff, really. So if you want something that's going to do massive ruts and rock steps, probably not the best vehicle. It's just going to lift wheels and you're going to feel like you're going to flip over onto the roof. It'll make it exciting, but yeah. Need lockers as well, because as soon as the wheel lifts, you end up rolling backwards anyway. And leading up to the trip, it just had constant maintenance occurring, like the gearbox was leaking and gaskets needed replacing, and just it's all standard stuff. If your vehicle's over 200,000 kilometres, this stuff's all going to wear out like you would expect. I mean, the gearbox was so sloppy, I had to take it to a gearbox shop. Still doesn't change gear like a brand new car. Yeah, just a bunch of stuff like that went wrong. It was starting to get me worried. But anyway, we still took it on this trip. So this is what I fixed on the trip. 1,000 k's in, the radiator overflow pipe snapped. As much as I tried to do a dodgy fix on that, the pressure just kept cracking the fix. So I needed a full new radiator, and then while we did the radiator, we found out the alternator pulley bearings were cooked, crunching behind that. So luckily I fixed that at the same time. And then it lost all power. It was the mass airflow sensor, but as you probably know from the last video, it was just replaced with another dodgy one. So then I had boost solenoids, suction control valve replaced, all my fuel filters, compression test done, turbo was checked, fuel system flushed, like the works. And if you're not very mechanical, this car it wouldn't be worth it. Like, you would spend more than the cars are worth trying to fix every 3 weeks. However, that's not the case with everyone that owns a Nissan Pathfinder. I've met other people with the same model, same year, same case, no problems. Like, that never misses a beat. So I don't know how true that is, but these people swear by them. So I'm on a forum, and other people just have constant issues with it, pretty similar to me, and yeah, always fixing them. So just something to keep in mind. Probably wouldn't recommend buying one with high kilometres. You'd probably try and stick to the lower kilometres, and then if you keep it well maintained, it's not going to have too many issues. On the beach, amazing. Never gets stuck anywhere. It's great off-road, as long as you hit that traction button. Hit the traction control button off, and it won't ever get stuck anywhere. Especially if you have lift and tyres, it's got so much ground clearance, no diffs dragging in the sand. It's great. I keep up with Sam and Mac and anyone else with these high-powered vehicles just as well, just because I have that ground clearance. I never get caught up on the sand, and yeah, it goes really well. So, and you know, bunch of room, but great to camp in. All the seats fold flat. You can really set them up really nice to sleep in if you have a roof rack on and you carry everything on the roof. Take from this what you want. Maybe if you're after a cheap wagon, now there's plenty of like Land Cruisers and stuff. It just depends if you want that V8, you know, fuel bill or registration costs. Yeah, that's my experience with the Pathfinder. This video wasn't really intended to say it's amazing or it's really crap. It's just to sort of show you guys what I've been through, and you can make a decision whether you'd want to risk all that as well. When it works great. Gets up all the tracks, follows the MP300 through and flexi tracks. I'm just lifting wheels everywhere and try not to flip on the roof. Feel like I'm giving Pathfinders a better name than they deserve sometimes, because I get people all the time messaging me, I got a Nissan Pathfinder because you guys have one on the channel and it goes so good. It does go good, but it's not always that reliable, unfortunately. Today, like, someone messaged me, would you recommend a Pajero or a Nissan Pathfinder? And I'm like, I don't know, I've never had a Pajero. I do know there's way more parts for Nissans, so if you wanted to modify it, you'd probably go to the Nissan. Anyway, maybe like let me know in the comments below if you guys have these sort of mid-range four-wheel drives, the independent suspension ones like the Prado, Pajero, Pathfinder. What else is there? Anything like that. Yeah, let me know down below if you guys reckon they're great off-road, or you'd upgrade to sort of like something with solid axles, V8, flexes and all that stuff. For now, I'm just going to keep the Pathfinder, but I think I will be upgrading eventually, and yeah. Anyway, I'm going to leave you some B-roll from the weekend. Enjoy. We went up with Sam and Mac. Also had a couple of other mates come up. We had a few MP300s that are pretty cool. You're going to like these, and cool Land Cruiser. We had an amazing setup. Bloody barbecue and shower coming out. It's great Land Cruiser setups. Sit back, enjoy, and see you next video. See you guys.
Darling, let me know when it gets down to 22, please.
I'm up here with Mac today. It's the debut for the Ford Ranger, and we actually have a couple of other friends. We've got Lloyd, Jaden and Rob. 3 Nissans, a Cruiser and a Ford Ranger. Bit of a crew. Maybe Sam will come later. By the time we get on this barge, it'll probably be this afternoon. Got to keep that social distance. Bit of social distancing, mate.
1.5 metres, mate.
Yeah.
Tie your shoes, loose tooth, blue suit in the booth. Back to back, Mac, men, St. Patrick's, they cool. Talking Mac, Gregor, Bluetooth. Who you talking to? About the Colossus of Cloud. Couch surfing from Beirut. About to shoot shooting hoops on you fucking fruit.
Too much stereo, mate. Too much stereo.
I'll be bought, not built. Bought a brand new Ford Ranger.
Can't even go camping these days without people like rocking up.
I've already waited. TJ, are you filming?
No, I'm trying to get this set up, but yeah, you can keep talking.
No, we're not talking. Mac fucked up everything. So this is what we have for dinner. We have pasta salad.
This
you
is all my
food.
Do you remember the time that we come up beach camping and I forgot the tent?
Yeah.
This is yours.
It's happened again. Well, you know what this is? This is my coronavirus bulk food prep pasta and taking my wage out of IGA. All the mince and pasta out of the shop.
Showing me white balance all. Buddy's over here. It's the most romantic setup I've seen.
Oh, this is good.
Seen in a while, mate. Up at the top on the roof there.
Gotta you know I ain't got no friends.